What's going on, everybody? This is your former AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Once a champion, always a champion. Swerve Strickland. Whose house? Swerve's house. You're watching True Heel Heat podcast.
Hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom, SP3. We are back, baby, talking some New Japan Pro Wrestling Power Struggle 2024 preview. Breaking down the card for this Monday live from Osaka, from the Edion Arena. And it's a big show for New Japan Pro Wrestling, the final big major show for NJPW of 2024. And of course, your boys, the team, has to be back here and talk about it. Of course, to do that, I am joined by the MC of the past, present, and future of New Japan Pro Wrestling here on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel. It is your boy, J News.
Yes, indeed. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Back at it again. Some news to announce about Power Struggle, right? SP3. Some news. Not yet. The full card has been made, as we have to still get on to the road to the finals of the Super Junior Tag League tournament. So we don't know what the finals will be as of yet. And yeah, man, last big show of the year. Because historic crossover is something else. So at the end of the day, last big show of the year. And then we have the US shows that we still have to do before the year rings out. So yeah, man, excited to talk about Power Struggle and what's going down and how the matches are breaking down. So let's get to it.
Yes, we're going to break down the card. This is a pre-recorded preview for you guys, just in case you were wondering, but feel free to sound off in the live chat if you're watching us for the premiere when this goes live on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel. We appreciate y'all for watching it when it premieres. We appreciate y'all if you're watching it on demand. Remember to show your appreciation back. The simplest way possible is by dropping the thumbs up on this video. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. We are still ticking along to our goal of 20,000 subscribers for the end of 2024. We're about at 18.3. So we're so close, under 2,000 subscribers left for the rest of the year so we can hit our goal for the end of the year. So if you tell a friend to subscribe to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, because you're always getting content, whether it's a live stream, a pre-recorded video, an interview, a short. We provide some consistent content over here. So tell your wrestling fans that this is the place to be. And of course, if you're watching us on demand, let us know in the comments down below your predictions for NJPW Power Struggle 2024, because there is a lot to discuss. NJ News, you teased about it. So we'll go into that first. But before we do that, how we always do, our previews for these pay-per-view previews, 0 to 10, what is your buzz level for this Monday show, Power Struggle 2024?
As of right now, due to this morning's news, I am at a good, healthy 8.75.
That's good. That is good. Yeah, thanks to the news of this morning, because, I was really looking forward to Power Struggle because the main event I know was going to be great. I knew that the junior heavyweight championship matchup would be a really good one. I was expecting the Super Junior Tag League final to be great as well, because I would say this might have been one of my favorite Super Junior Tag Leagues. I've been following along, watching live J News for most of this, and I think that day 3 of the Super Junior Tag League was one of the best shows I've ever seen from a Super Junior Tag League. But I am looking forward to the finals. So there was like 3 matches on the card I was looking forward to, but the news of the time we're recording this, the day we're recording this morning, very much got me excited of what can come next. especially because Power Struggle is usually where a lot of the major matches for NJPW's Wrestle Kingdom are made official. Hearing the news of today was very surprising. So without further ado, I would say 0 to 10. I'm at a solid 8 myself. And a lot of that is down to the news on Wednesday morning, October 30th, 2024. New Japan Pro Wrestling announced that the former IWGP heavyweight champion, the former AEW world champion, the cleanup, the best bout machine, Kenny Omega, will be a special guest making an appearance at Edion Arena in Osaka-jo Hall on Monday, November 4th at Power Struggle 2024. This coming off the heels of the interview that Kenny Omega sat down with New Japan cameras alongside Hiroshi Tanahashi. The first interview that dropped with the reunion between him and Tanahashi, teased that we could see Kenny Omega appear at Wrestle Dynasty, but the fact that he is going to appear at Power Struggle 2024, it's got me on high alert and high possibility, high happiness that we could be getting an announcement of not only Kenny Omega's return to a pro wrestling ring, but his return to New Japan Pro Wrestling, possibly at Wrestle Kingdom in the Tokyo Dome the day before Wrestle Dynasty. But J News, what was your reaction to this news? And what do you expect? And what is your prediction on what Kenny Omega is going to do on this show?
My reaction to this was one of excitement, man. I was excited because Kenny has become, over the last decade, one of my favorite wrestlers to watch. And just to know that he's going to be making an appearance at Power Struggle, be it him making some sort of an announcement or whatever the case is, if he comes in for the save on the Prez during some sort of a match, who knows? But it's exciting. I think for whatever kind of slander has been given towards or made towards Kenny Omega over the years and things of that nature, I feel like when he's active, professional wrestling is just better for it at the end of the day. And I feel like him being active and him wanting to be hands-on on any level, be it New Japan, be it AEW, whatever, it's a shift. It can definitely shift where people put their eyes on a weekly basis and things of that nature. So definitely excited to know that he's going to be making an appearance at Power Struggle, depending as to whatever that appearance has to uphold to, be it an announcement, be it if he's just going to get involved with something. I'm all for it. Your thought process of him might be announcing, or possible announcement of him being a part of Wrestle Kingdom would be a big deal, because we already know he wants to. They're going to be doing that tag match at Wrestle Dynasty and whatnot. I would definitely wonder what it would be, what they would do for a Wrestle Kingdom match for him. If it has to be a singles match, if it's not a singles match, then whatever. But it's good news. It's good news. And that to me is definitely a positive going into 2025 and Wrestle Kingdom and Wrestle Dynasty, and maybe even historic crossover, because he has a big time love for the Joshis. So at the end of the day, we don't necessarily know what what the appearance is gonna be for, but it can be for anything, man. But the possibilities are endless, and I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it.
Yes, I'm very excited. Now I'm gonna ask you prediction. If he is here to announce a match for Wrestle Kingdom, who would it be against?
Well, it's interesting because he only named one guy specifically during this particular video that launched this morning. He inadvertently got his name wrong at first, but he did name Gabe Kidd. I think that would be a big match for Gabe. Huge match, really.
Yes.
he named Gabe, so that's a possibility, obviously. So there's that. He didn't necessarily mention any of the other younger Japanese talent. So, you know, not to say that nobody's going to be involved, but with Kenny, usually stuff is more direct than it is indirect. So, I'm going to go with Gabe. Maybe a match with Gabe could be a possibility. Because Gabe's always going off at the mouth at the end of the day. So,
to say the least, yes. To say the least,
he's got to cash some checks at the end of the day. So, yeah, I think that'd be a huge opportunity for anybody on the New Japan roster, especially the younger guys and stuff like that. So if it's Gabe first, then cool, because he basically he was structuring that particular interview around him wanting to be the litmus test for these younger guys in New Japan, not even AEW. He was specifically talking about New Japan. So yeah, I'm stoked, man. I think that would be a cool match. Some of the younger talents, the Japanese talents would probably, of course, it would be in favor of them. We know Suge is gonna probably go off against David Finlay, so that's a no go. I still don't think Shooter's gonna get Zack Sabre Jr. Like I just don't feel like that's the way we're going.
This guy don't see the writing on the wall.
I don't see it. That's something that they can do from a storyline perspective, really. Because I don't know, because I mean we catch up with everything that goes on with New Japan and AEW and things of that nature. We know what guys are doing, the kind of interviews that are being had. Shooter had an interview recently, and Shooter stated that he didn't give a crap about what happened to Daniel Bryan, and that he's not involved with what's going on with John Moxley. And I said to myself, "What do you mean you don't give a crap about Daniel Bryan? What are you talking about, man? What is this?" And I was like, "I'm here like," and he's saying that he didn't really think anything of the people booing him. He has nothing to do with what's going on, and it's like, "Oh, you sneaky little bastard!" I was like, "You sneaky little bastard!" I was just saying,
watching his hands. He's washing his hands.
He's washing his hands.
Situation.
For now, he's washing his hands. I have a feeling that the Shooter will be more heavily involved than we think at the end of the day. So, and for all intents and purposes, I mentioned that to say Kenny's an EVP of AEW. He is an AEW through and through guy. And if you need somebody to put Shooter on a pedestal, the Cleaner's not a bad choice. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you need to turn Shooter at the end of the day, which is something that we all want at this point. So that's a possibility at the end of the day. So I'm all for Kenny coming back as long as he's healthy and he feels good to go and things of that nature. That's always the main cause and the main goal there. But it can do something for Shooter. Obviously, it can do something for guys like Gabe Kidd and things of that nature. And Suge has his path. He was talking about Hanare. He mentioned Hanare during his interview. Not to say that that's a kind of match that I would expect, really. But anybody who get the Kenny rub nowadays is probably good for it anyway. So I'm all for that. He mentioned Callum Newman by name for all intents and purposes. All the crap that people give me about being a Callum Newman fan, and he mentioned Callum Newman by name. So shouts to those boys. But I can possibly see him having these different matches here and there with certain talents. So and if not, then if it's just him making announcements about certain matches or whatever, cool. Seeing the Cleaner on TV is better than not. So I'm all for whatever he plans to do and whatever the Prez wants to do, as long as it makes sense.
I am going to say I agree with your first assessment. I think that it is Gabe Kidd. Gabe Kidd has been talking his trash He's been calling out Kenny Omega mentioning him. He was the first person that I thought of because I was like, who on the New Japan roster? Because we know when Kenny gets back to AEW, he's got matches lined up with Jack Perry. Of course, the big one is facing Okada finally outside of Japan, in the United States, in the UK, in Australia. There's multiple places they can do that Okada versus Omega 5 matchup. They're trying to fill a stadium in Australia. That's why I mentioned that in February next year. So there is potential in all those places. I also want to say too, I would say since Kenny is a special guest and has been announced, he still might come with a surprise, and that surprise maybe is Kota Ibushi. And we finally get the Golden Lovers going after the IWGP World Tag Team titles. I would say that that's like a wild card, a dark horse option. But if you want to ease Kenny back in and you don't want to give away the first Kenny Omega singles match in the company that he's not signed to, and you want him to come back and work a Wrestle Kingdom and a Wrestle Dynasty, but not put too much pressure on him, making it a tag team match, having him come back as the Golden Lovers, that would be a nice surprise. And still, there's reasoning for that. So I would say that's my number 2, but I really feel like it should be Gabe Kidd because I don't think any of the matchups with the younger Japanese talent kind of jump off the page for a Wrestle Kingdom quite like Omega and Gabe Kidd.
Yeah, I agree with you. I also lean towards the tag match thing. I'm not sure what it might have been something I misread or whatever have you, but it seems like Kota Ibushi doesn't have a good relationship with DDT either at this point. I don't know.
No, he doesn't have a good relationship with DDT, but I heard that he's fine with New Japan.
New Japan? Okay, all right. So as long as that's been resolved, then cool. I hope he's healthy, really. That's really my hope with Kota Ibushi. Because the last time when he made his return matches at DDT last month and whatnot, I still felt like he didn't look 100%. So it was just to me, it was, and it's not even a body thing. It was just like movement, sharpness of strikes and things of that nature, or whatever. And I'm like, all right, maybe he's rusty or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I just want him, and I understand it's not like he's in his 40s now. You know what I'm saying? There's a certain level of attrition on the body, but it's like, you want him to look a certain way, especially for the kind of reverence he had in Japan and over here in the States as well. So, hopefully Kenny and Kota are healthy. If he's fine with New Japan, then I'm all for him making appearances at New Japan. Obviously, the same thing with Kenny works the same way with Kota. Like he can go over there and help get guys to a certain level, as long as he can wrestle those kinds of matches. So, hopefully it pans out in that way. I think that, to what you were saying, it makes the most sense for them to be in tag matches, right? So they don't have to go through a very grueling one-on-one. So they can leave singles matches for later and things of that nature and spread out what they can do with both of them throughout the year. So I think that would make the most sense.
Indeed, I agree there. But let's talk about the rest of the card. There is one match that has still not been confirmed quite yet, J News, but we do know one half of this card because for the finals of the Super Junior Tag League 2024, we are filming this on Wednesday, October 30th, 2024, where this morning at, I believe it was day 5, they did determine one half of the finals because the Bullet Club War Dogs are pretty much one win away. They did lose to the Skateboard Bros, so they could have gotten officially in the Super Junior Tag League, but I think that they are. They're facing LIJ, and LIJ is on a losing streak, so I don't know. Maybe I would say maybe. So we don't have it confirmed quite yet who's going to be in the Super Junior Tag League, but Bullet Club War Dogs, House of Torture are both and TMDK are all tied at 3-1 in the A block, Over in the B block, it's a little bit more up in the air. You have the international jet setters are looking good over there. You got Roppongi Revice that is looking good over there, as well as Catch 2-2. So there a lot of teams. What have you thought about the Super Junior Tag League thus far? And is your finals prediction from before still intact?
Pretty much, man. Pretty much. So I think that everything that I have seen so far has been really, really good. They have made this out to be one of the better Super Junior tournaments in the last couple of years, so that's a plus. New team to me, the Velocities. They've been a good standout for me to, for wrestlers that I don't get to see on a regular basis. Captain Suicida finally impressed me the other day. So
he impressed me this morning with his performance on day 5. What has been in your opinion, the best match of the tournament? For me, I think that it was the Bullet Club War Dogs versus TMDK in Kurgan Hall. That was exceptional. That was excellent.
That's what I was going to go with, because it's when that crowd gets on fire and they get behind those matches, it makes those matches so much better than a lot of people can give it credit for, And growing up watching Japanese wrestling from different promotions happen at Kurikan Hall, that crowd can shift the dynamic and the feel of any match. And when they got behind that match, I was like, okay, this is dope. This is pretty cool. So give it up to the fans at Kurikan Hall. Give it up to the talent, obviously, because TMD, man, Kosei Fujita's gonna be a star, dog.
Kosei Fujita, that was the star-making performance for him in particular in that matchup. But like, how far Drilla Maloney and Clark Connors, like they have come so far as a tag team. Like they mesh so well, they know each other so well in the ring. Robbie Eagles has always been great, and we've always been complimentary of Robbie Eagles. But like I said, I think Kosei Fujita, that was a breakout performance for him in Kurgan Hall.
Yeah, man, I think that it's the Bullet Club War Dogs, when they got paired together right away, it made sense. From day one, it made sense, and then they gelled so well. They really add to the attitude that is the War Dogs, right? I think it doesn't necessarily work with just Gabe or just David. Like they make up a good portion of the attitude that is the War Dogs. So I've always, of all of Shibata's boys, Clark Connors to me has always stood out. And for a reason, dude, his high, for dude, his stature, his size, the velocity and impact that he wrestles with and things of that nature. Now combine that with the character work and everything else in between, it works. And Drilla's found his freaking groove, man, after all these years, which is dope to see. He was not to say that he was like in obscurity over in the UK. He was building a name for himself, but he's really started to stand out with his stint here on New Japan over the last couple of years, especially being a part of the War Dogs. So give them the props necessary there. And as you said, man, we always give props to Robbie Eagles, because Robbie Eagles is a consummate professional, one of the best in the business. And it's cool to have him be Fujita's senpai at this point. You know what I'm saying? So it makes the most sense there. And you can see that Fujita's really coming into his own. He has his own style now, and it's very apparent that Kosei Fujita is his own man, and he's gonna have his own signature on his matches. And that's cool. That's the cool thing to see, especially after the last couple of years of Young Lions basically being thrust to the forefront and stuff like that. So props to them on that match, and hopefully the finals brings us some more goodness.
Yeah, I'm still going with Bullet Club War Dogs versus Catch 22 in the finals. So, and I think I did predict Catch 22 to go back to back, and they had probably the second best match of the tournament thus far with Roppongi Revice on that same Kurgan Hall show. Because my lord, Francisco Akira and Yo chopped the shit out of each other.
Yes,
Yo's chest at the end
it
was
was blistered. Yeah,
ridiculous.
it was blistered, man. Uh,
And
shouts.
Roppongi Revice has been really good.
I was gonna say
Rocky and Yo. Oh
shouts
man.
shouts to the Forbidden Door himself, Rocky Romero. Happy belated birthday to Rocky as well. His birthday was a
Yes.
couple days ago. He is a man of the people. Always a cool dude when we get to meet him post shows and all that stuff. So appreciate Rocky, man. Him being able to go from like what he does at AEW to New Japan to CMLL, like he has his hands in everything, man, and for him to still be able to put on the level of matches that he does, and tag with Yo of all people who just came back from injury, that's yeah. That's a pro's pro right there, and I can't wait to see what else Yo has in store for us because I feel it's been start and stop with Yo over the last couple of years. Like I need a defined path for this man at this point. You know, we know that Show's a shitty person and he's a shitty wrestler now. We need more Yo, and we need to understand where Yo is going. You know what I'm saying?
That is fair. That is fair. And what was your finals prediction?
I don't even remember, man. To be quite honest, I know I had the War Dogs in it. I think it was. Yeah, I think it was the War Dogs and TMDK, if I'm not mistaken. For the finals or whatever. So
the War Dogs and TMDK are on the same block.
On
the same block. I think you said the Jet Setters.
Yeah, because they just became champs. I always disliked when New Japan would put the belts on a new team right before the tag tournament would start, and then that team would end up like losing for some reason. It's like you just made them champions. Why are you gonna have them not make it to the finals? So yeah, it makes the most sense for yeah, because I remember what I said. I wanted new blood in the finals, so I went with TMDK versus the Jet Setters and whatnot. I didn't go with the War Dogs and whatnot because the War Dogs they've been killing it at the end of the day. So that makes the most sense to me. So yeah.
All right, this one is a sad one to discuss as it was scheduled to be Hiroshi Tanahashi and El Phantasmo versus the House of Torture's Evil and Ren Narita. And surprisingly, the sadness is not because it's a House of Torture match. Right. It is because El Phantasmo has been pulled from this matchup. He is taking an extended leave of absence. He released a statement talking about how a doctor found a little tumor of cancer in him, and El Phantasmo, the selfless guy that he is, didn't even want you to think about him. He was had his thoughts on Chris Bay, who also got seriously injured during the TNA Impact tapings in Detroit following Bound for Glory. The wrestling world poured out in their support for Chris Bay, who was in the hospital right now being taken care of following neck surgery. But El Phantasmo, that was sad news as well, though, because anytime you hear a little tumor of cancer, it don't matter if you have a little next to it. It's cancer. That's something real serious. So, your thoughts, your reaction to that news, and who do you think is going to replace ELP in this matchup, and who wins?
It's been a tough go the last week in pro wrestling with the injuries and the news and everything else in between. Get well soon to Chris Bay. None of us know what the extent of the injury was. We just know that there was an injury at the end of the day. I am happy to have seen the outpouring of love and support towards Chris Bay in that particular regard. Same thing for ELP when he came out with his news about the doctor finding that small bit of cancer, cancerous tumor that they found in him. Him taking that indefinite leave for him to be able to get his health right. all the love and support to ELP. Hopefully he can come back better and stronger from all this. Where does Tana go? Could it be SP3? Could it be that the cleaner makes an early on appearance in a tag match here at Power Struggle?
No.
Okay, fair enough.
That's my original, because I am not having Kenny Omega come back early for a House of Torture match. Nope. I'm going to say no to that. And I will say that my prediction is that Jado replaces ELP, and House of Torture gets House of Torture gets the victory here, pinning Jado to kind of give Tanahashi something to fight back against, because it has been announced that Tanahashi will go one-on-one with Evil at Wrestle Kingdom on January 4th.
I was reading a lot of different New Japan supporters' tweets about that match and how it all made canonical sense, and it made storyline sense, and yada, yada, yada. And I'm there like, you sons of bitches better get on the damn train. What are you talking about? Canonical sense, storyline sense. I don't want any of that crap. I don't want the House of Torture or Evil anywhere near the Prez right now. None.
So we're at least getting 2 House of Torture matches.
This is ridiculous.
Because Red Narita is one half of the TV is actually the NJPW World Television Champion, and that's what also makes the ELP news sad, because I felt like with this match being announced, it was basically setting up for ELP to get the victory in the tag match to set up a TV title match at Wrestle Kingdom.
I feel like whoever steps into ELP's place for the tag match is going to step into place for that Ren Narita match. So I don't think it's going to be Jado. I don't necessarily know who it's going to be, because it ain't going to be Shooter. I don't know, man. That is a good. I'm really trying to think as to who doesn't have anything to do right now. Who can they lean on in this case?
Hey, we'll keep the people guessing while you contemplate that in your head, and we'll go to the next matchup. We'll circle back to that, because we got for the IWGP World Tag Team Championships, TMDK, Shane Hayes, Mikey Nichols defending against Hanare and the KOPW 2024 Provisional Champion Great Okan. It was at King of Pro Wrestling, TMDK getting the victory over the Bullet Club War Dogs to retain their titles. And then United Empire came out to make the challenge for this big matchup here. Who you got in this one, J News?
I got the champs retaining. TMDK will retain over the homies over at the United Empire. The Great Okan seems to be a little bit too distracted with his goings-ons at Historic Crossover. So I don't necessarily think that the King of Pro Wrestling has his mind.
Well, he should. He got to deal with Suzuki.
So I don't think he's got his full 100% attention on this tag match here. Shouts to Suzuki. She's going to probably whip his ass and be the KOPW champion. So for all intents and purposes, I want to see it. Unless it becomes some sort of a weird Okan women angle thing. I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, I just don't think he has the focus level necessary in order to help Hanare win the IWGP World Heavyweight Tag Team Championships in this particular estimation. So TMDK for the win for me here.
I'm going to go with that as well. TMDK to retain the IWGP World Tag Team Champions. We need some legitimate champions going into World Tag League season. But we got a special singles match, which a lot of people are pointing out as a possible unofficial number 1 contenders matchup for Wrestle Kingdom, as it will be Shota Umino going one-on-one with Sanada. Sanada, of course, got his opportunity at the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship at Royal Quest, coming up short against Zack Sabre Jr. After Zack won the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship from Tetsuya Naito at King of Pro Wrestling, it was Shota Umino who came out to massive amounts of boos, who said that he has defeated Zack Sabre Jr. twice this year, so he wants his opportunity at the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. He did not win the lottery with Zack choosing him ahead of the Royal Quest title defense. He did choose Shingo, who also came out to interrupt Zack's celebration, but now he has to go one-on-one with a former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion and see if he can get in line for an opportunity. And can Sonata get himself back into title contention with a win here? J News, what do you think about this matchup? What do you think about the fact that if you have been watching the Best of the Super Junior Tag League, they have been making it very prominent in the promotion for this matchup, the massive amounts of boos that Shota Umino got at King of Pro Wrestling. They've been featuring that at the beginning of every single show when they show the match graphic and the highlights heading into this matchup. The boos, they even amplified the audio on the boos. So what do you think about this one?
What I think is that I know you're watching. I know you're watching. You scheming sons of bitches over in New Japan Pro Wrestling because you're leaning into it, as you should, for God's sakes. I'll say this, man. I'll say this. I don't have the pencil. I'm not the booker, man. I don't know how Gato's gonna facilitate all this. But from my perspective and my own personal opinion, I just don't feel like Shooter's ready for a Wrestle Kingdom main event. I feel that way. I feel that way. And you know, unless this becomes a complete hostile takeover angle by the end of Wrestle Kingdom, I don't necessarily still see Shooter being the contender to Zack Sabre Jr. that he thinks he is, just because he got 2 wins over him this year. You know?
Just because how many times have we seen people get title opportunities just because they beat the champion multiple times?
But that's the way New Japan works. I understand where we're at. I understand what we're talking about. I'm just saying I don't think he's ready for that spotlight. I don't think he's ready for that spotlight.
He's ready. He was born ready.
Born ready.
He was born ready in his red booties because he's the son of red shoes.
He was born ready. Every time I ever hear people say the term "born ready," all I hear is fish and spaghetti in my head. Listen, you got to be from New York.
Born ready, all fish and spaghetti.
You got to be from New York to understand that. But anyways, so yeah, I don't know, man. I'm still not with the whole Shooter being in the main event thing. So I don't think Sonata should be in the main event either. But at the end of the day, we got to go with what we have, right? And if this is what we have, then you turn Shooter here, right? SP3, we have to turn him here, right?
You either turn him in the matchup or he wins the match and then he beats the hell out of Zack. He doesn't come out and challenge him. He could come out and challenge him and then he just beats the shit out of him to get even more heat.
Sure. Yeah. That makes sense. Maybe even follow along with the angles that have been going on elsewhere. In this case, as a sign of anarchy and chaos, he takes the belt and he puts it into some sort of a suitcase, a bag or whatever. He's not gonna run away with it and steal it and spray paint it like freaking Evil did. No. He just puts it away and he just tells ZSJ he's not deserving of it. And at the end of the day, he has to walk through him and the rest of the Death Riders to get to where he needs to get to. Because I think that's where we're going, and that's going to be the new faction name.
I'm here with it. I'm here for it. I agree. Shota Umino gets the win here. Then we got for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship is going to be Doki defending against Master Wato. King of Pro Wrestling, Doki got the victory over Sho. Yoshinobu Kanemaru attacked Doki from behind after the matchup, and it was Master Wato making his return to New Japan Pro Wrestling, who made the save. He issued the challenge for this matchup here. These two men have been dealing with each other in multi-tag preview matches since then. Is it the big night for Master Wato to finally make his way to the Grand Master, or will he come up short to the man who is taking the mantle as the ace of the junior division, Doki?
All right, SP3. Look, listen, man. I've been on the Master Wato train for quite some time.
You have.
And I like what Doki has been doing this year as IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. But this has nothing to do with either of those young men. This has everything to do with Gato. This smells like Gato giving Wato the belt to course correct. For some reason, this is what it smells like. And the reason as to why I say that, oh my God, and I'm probably going to get a lot of shit for this, but I don't give a shit because it's my own personal opinion. When Doki came out this morning and he said that he wanted to challenge Sammy Guevara for Wrestle Dynasty, I said to myself, what, man, Doki, you losing the belt, man? What the fuck are we doing? What are we doing, man? What are we doing? Come on. You can't come out and say some shit like that, man. God damn. If people don't know, I am not a big fan of Sammy Guevara.
Obviously, if they didn't know, I think they do now. I am going to go with Doki to I really feel like these two guys are going to be in some type of multi-man matchup at Wrestle Kingdom. So you're right. The only way you do that is if Master Wato wins the title here, and then Doki can just get his rematch and in that 4-way matchup that I've been talking about for months now. I don't see Roppongi Revice winning the Super Junior Tag League, so you get Yo in there, you get El Desperado making his return, and that's your 4-way. You get Master Wato, Doki, El Despi, and Yo. But Master Wato going in as the champion, or they're gonna do Master Wato versus El Desperado as the matchup. I think those are the two matchups. Those are the two matchups because of their history together.
Right. And yet again, to use the storyline and canonical reasoning of New Japan, sure, yes, Wato and Despi at Wrestle Kingdom works, right? But which then leads to me choosing Wato winning here because for all intents and purposes, I felt like Doki's run was supposed to be Wato's run. So it's a course correction. And not for the lack of Doki not putting on tremendous matches, not having a great reign and everything else in between. Like he's really done a lot for himself as IWGP champion. He's beat the stalwarts, all but one. At the end, I'm still on that. I'm still on that SP3. I still think he needs to do that. At the end of the day, I'm still on that.
You hear this guy? He's still running with this agenda.
Come on, man. At the end of the day, so I think that I just feel like that can make for a pivotal match because Kushida was the face of the junior division for a long period of time, and if that's going to be a Wrestle Kingdom match, why not? At the end of the day, but that'll be a big spotlight for Doki in that sense. But that's the B side of things. That's the maybe. I think that Gato already put it down in pencil, man. Wato's winning here, and I think that your 4-way match thing might be probably what's gonna go down. And I feel for Doki, man, because I feel like he should continue to carry this championship. But I feel like this is gonna be a course correction match, and yeah, he's not gonna get to the top of the mountain though, right? He's gonna be champion. But he's not gonna be at the top of the mountain with the Grand Master. He ain't gonna meet Pai Mei yet. No, sir.
So he beats Despi at the Dome. There you go. Then we got this one. We don't have to talk much about it because I know you hate talking about this man. The IWGP Global Heavyweight Champion David Finlay will defend against Tai Chi At King of Pro Wrestling, Finley got the win over Hiroki Goto. Post-match, he challenged the other man that defeated him in the G1 Climax 34 tournament in Yuya Uemura. This brought out Uemura's stablemate in Just Five Guys, Taichi. Finley made fun of Taichi because he came up short in the tournament to qualify for the G1 Climax tournament, and it led to Taichi laying him out with the dangerous backdrop driver, and now he gets a shot at the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship. Like I said, I don't have much to talk about here. I think Finley retains, and then the third man that beat him in the G1 Climax tournament, Yota Tsuji, comes out to challenge him for Wrestle Kingdom.
Yota Tsuji is correct to come out for the Wrestle Kingdom Challenge. That makes all the sense in the world. I feel like I have to say this outright, right? This is probably gonna be a match a lot of people aren't paying too much attention to, but it's probably gonna be one of the better matches of the night, right?
This feels very much like the Yoshihashi title defense for David.
Exactly. Our fearless and grand emperor needs a restart, a reset, right? For us to feel the level of importance that Taichi does carry in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And I feel if he has a good outing here against young David Finlay in his current state and status, it would be all for the positive of New Japan in general and for Taichi. Even though I don't think Taichi will win this match, I just feel like if they have a barn burner of a match, that it will see good things down the road for Taichi. And obviously then, as you stated, after the match is over, we'll probably get Mr. Smiles come out and make his challenge to to David Finlay for that global championship. And then the coronation should be at Wrestle Kingdom for Big Suge. And then, for all intents and purposes, like I said before, we probably might not see David Finlay in a New Japan ring ever again.
I didn't want to talk long about that one, but finally, for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship is going to be Zack Sabre Jr. defending against Shingo Takagi. This is Zack's second defense after winning the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship at King of Pro Wrestling over Los Ingobernables leader Tetsuya Naito. After the matchup, Shingo was one of the men who came out to interrupt his celebration, noting that he was 1-1 against Zack Sabre Jr. in the G1 Climax tournament, beating him in block competition. After then, Zack beat him in the semifinals, and now he wants to have the tiebreaker for the richest prize in New Japan Pro Wrestling. The main event, Osaka Edion Arena. This should be a tremendous bout. I'm looking forward to it, but I have no doubts Zack Sabre Jr. retains.
I have been saying for the last 5 years or so, the last 4 years, should I say, since the inception of the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Once Shingo Takagi held that championship, I still feel that Shingo Takagi has been the best IWGP World Heavyweight Champion that has ever held that championship. I'm sure this is going to be one, if not a match of the year contender between these two, because Shingo knows how to do what he needs to do in order to bring that out of certain caliber performers, and ZSJ is one of those top tier caliber performers. So I feel that the differentiation in styles will make for a great battle here in the ring, and they will have quite the match. But to continue the story that we need to be told in New Japan Pro Wrestling, Zack Sabre Jr. must retain his IWGP World Heavyweight Championship as he goes on to Wrestle Kingdom to be he wants to be the first non-Japanese IWGP World Heavyweight Champion to defend his championship and retain his championship at Wrestle Kingdom. So I want that to happen for him there. And like I said before, I just don't feel like Shooter's ready. And I don't think that.
So you figured out who's gonna do it? Who's gonna challenge Zack if it's not Shooter? Like, You keep saying this, but you don't come up with the replacement. You're saying there's a problem, but you don't have a solution.
Look,
So you're
man,
just part of the problem.
Look, man. Look. At the end of the day, we're gonna get a random tag team title match at Wrestle Kingdom, right? We're gonna get Nagata. I'm saying this for the scope of things, right? We're gonna get is it Nagata and Marufuji? Who challenged TMDK? I don't know. They did. It was I'm saying
I'm pretty sure the World Tag League winner versus
more than likely, but what I'm saying is that I think whoever Nagata's teaming with, they're gonna enter the tag league and they're gonna win and they're gonna face TMDK.
That's not random then. That means they're winning a tournament to get the opportunity.
Right, but no one figured Nagata to be going after no belt. That's why I'm saying it's random. So the person
we don't know if they're gonna win.
All I'm
you're
saying
you're just making stuff up.
No, all I'm saying is that I feel that it could be a random person or someone we're just not seeing right now to fit into that build. And you know, for all intents and purposes, they could go a different way if they really, really wanted to. And because everybody's calling for no, that's not gonna happen. I don't know, man. I just don't feel like, you know what? If Shooter's gonna be there, Shooter's gonna lose. You know what I'm saying?
You don't got the answer.
I ain't got the answer. I ain't got the answer. I ain't got the answers, man. I ain't got the answers. I'll say that. I ain't got the answers, man. I ain't got the answers.
But we're both going with Zack here at Power Struggle. And before we wrap things up here, J News, you got one more chance. Who's it gonna be with Tanahashi in the tag?
Wow. No one's hurt and slated to come back from injury that I am aware of. Because whoever it's like we said, whoever's going to be, they're gonna be facing off with Narita for that TV championship.
I still think they have time to set up the TV title match because you have World Tag League. You got stuff like that where you could still set it up. They don't necessarily, they didn't plan on ELP being pulled, but they don't have to just shoehorn somebody in.
Are they gonna have Narita tag with like Yujiro in the tag league or something like that?
I thought they would have him team with Evil.
I guess. Sure.
I'd rather that than Evil and Yujiro. That's just complete shit.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Tana, because like I said, but like we both said, it's not going to be Shooter at this point because obviously Shooter's going on to face Zack Sabre Jr. at Wrestle Kingdom, so it's not going to be Shooter. I'm thinking Hantai ties. Everybody's just an older wrestler in Hantai at this point.
Yeah.
And I don't.
That's why Jado is the one that just makes sense. Just put Jado in and then deal with booking your TV title later.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's because for me, like I get what you're saying that they can finagle and structure the build through Tag League. It's just I feel like whoever the person is should be presented at Power Struggle, right?
No need to. There's no time limit on it, but that's just me. That's just me.
Does the Prez do Tag League?
Probably no.
But they have to. They would have to debut whoever his tag partner is going to be.
He'll probably do it with Jado. But that brings us to a close on our Power Struggle preview here. J News, let everybody know quickly where they can follow you, sir.
Y'all can follow me on the Twitter space, John LYFNMG. Also follow me on the Instagram space there as well, _JONJY. Y'all can catch me every Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Hit the Ropes podcast. You can check me out, check me and Dolores out on our respective YouTube channels. And because we do the live stream every Sunday. And man, as y'all know, I've been here since the jump. True Heel Heat, and I still do all the New Japan stuff here with the great SP3, our 6-person tag partner Sonal. Always miss her when we're doing the New Japan stuff. So shouts to Sonal, and I'll be back after Power to do the Power Struggle review next week, probably Monday afternoon. So I have to.
Yeah, probably Monday afternoon. We'll be here on the same day as Power Struggle. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at True Hill Heat, patreon.com/True Hill Heat. You can see our Super Junior Tag League preview over there, and follow me on the Twitter machine at True Hill SP3. But for J News, it is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. This has been our NJPW Power Struggle 2024 preview. We are signing off until next time.